Okay, so we have, I think I have not listed here. So there are so many protocols are available at the application layer. Okay, so you can just observe the available protocol, the commonly used whenever if you want to open any web page. So the most required is HTTP. Okay, so it is a application layer protocol. Then if you want to send a file, okay, so that can be implemented using FTP protocol. So if you want to share the file from one system to another system, so before to HTTP they used to use FTP protocol. What is FTP stands for? File transfer protocol. Okay, so they used to use this protocol to transfer the file. Okay, you can just observe. So this is the simple diagram. Before going to this diagram, let me go to this summarizing the layers. Okay, I think you can easily understand each layer important responsibility. Okay, so to allow access to the network resources of the application layer. So I have not covered the presentation and session layer. Let me go to the presentation and session layer, then come back to this diagram. So actually this presentation and session layer are not there in the TCP IP model. Okay, these are all these two layers. Okay, one is a session layer and presentation layer. It is part of OSI model. Okay, after the transport layer, the next one is a session layer. So what is session layer? It is what is for it is responsible. Then we have a presentation layer followed by application layer. So now I'll just in brief explain about this the session layer. Okay, so your session layer is responsible for dialog control. Okay, so that is the conversation. It is somewhat like conversation when two end system want to communicate. So it has to establish a dialog control, that is exchanging of information. Okay, and how it is going to take place, this dialog control, exchange of information or the communication, how exactly it takes place, either using off duplex mode or using full duplex mode. Okay, so this layer is responsible for dialog control between the two devices. Then synchronization, it is another responsibility of session layer. Okay, these are the two responsibilities. So what is synchronization means? So I will take one example for this. Okay, so synchronization can be achieved by adding the checkpoints or synchronization points to a stream of data. Consider I want to transfer 200, not 200, 2000 pages. Okay, from one device to the other device, from device A to device B. So now if I am sending as it is all 200 pages at the same time, whatever the data it is lost, okay, so in that case the device B will inform that it is not received the data correctly. So in that case what happens, device A once again it has to send all 200 pages. So instead of sending 2000, sorry, it is 2000 pages, instead of that let put the checkpoints. Okay, for every 100 pages there will be a checkpoint. Okay, that means after receiving first 100 pages by the destination or the receiver, it should send an acknowledgement, okay, indicating received correctly. Then from 100, 101 to 200, another checkpoint. So like this, it is going to send all 2000 pages. So if any loss of page, so example consider 520, okay, when it is sending the pages or the data, so this particular page is lost. So in that case, it does not require to resend all remaining the pages out of 2000 pages. Okay, 1099 it can be, it is received, only one page is missing. So that sequence it is there between 501 to 501 to 600. Okay, so only these many pages need to be resent. It does not require to resend all the pages. Okay, it is nothing but it is putting checkpoints between the pages, and it is going to verify the data is received or not, instead of sending all the pages and wait for the acknowledgement indicating received or not. Okay, so this is called as, this is one type of achieving the synchronization. Okay, even when you were running your C program, there are checkpoints. Did you observe anybody used checkpoints or break, tracing? Did you use in code blocks? So if you want to understand or if you want to analyze only that particular loop statement, you can apply the checkpoints, or in the code blocks, it is called as break. Okay, so only that part can be, you can analyze. So like that. So even in network, the synchronization can be achieved using the simple mechanism of checkpoints. Okay, so just remember, actually they have not given in 5th edition, but you should be knowing, because this is the OSI model is the standard model. Everybody should be aware of all the 7 layers. So next we'll move on to a presentation layer. So presentation layer, so that is below the application layer and above the session layer. So it is mainly concerned with the syntax. Okay, whatever the data it is sending, so that syntax and semantics of the information exchange between two systems. Okay, so whatever the information it is exchanging between two systems, that syntax and what is the semantics it is used, so that is taken care by the presentation layer. Okay, so now other than this, what are the other responsibilities? And also it is responsible for interoperability. What do you mean by that? Interoperability. Maybe in the first class I told about this interoperability. See, you just imagine whatever the network or your laptop. Okay, all the parts are not manufactured by a single company. Okay, so you are using Microsoft Windows. Okay, and the device or the processor you are using, that is manufactured by Intel, and mouse you are using some other manufacturing company, but still all these parts are working together. Okay, it supports for interoperability. Okay, yeah. Even with respect to software, even if you install operating system Linux or Fedora, still the device is compatible and it will work fine. Okay, so this type of interoperability is taken care by the presentation layer. Okay, so other than this, so this interoperability is a part of translation. It is responsible for translation of the information. Okay, whatever the representation of information, in what format, what language it is represented, so it is going to transmit as it is, and it will be converted at the destination side, okay, or the receiver side. Then encryption. What is encryption? So this is just to ensure
Combining
that
the data.
yes, this is just for ensuring the privacy, that's all. Okay, whenever if it is carrying the any sensitive information, so it requires the intruder should not able to read the data or the information that is exchanging between two systems. Okay, it has to encrypt the data. It comes under security. Okay, so this encryption algorithms. Okay, so how exactly it is done, which algorithm or which protocol is used. So everything it is taken care by the presentation layer. Okay, whatever the data we are exchanging, most of the data it is in the form of encryption. Encryption is done at the sender side, and what the, so how a receiver will come to know this? See, encryption means the plain text. Okay, I am typing the plain text. So here I will use some mechanism to change my plain text to ciphertext. Okay, so ciphertext means nobody can understand that. Okay, so it is going to convert some unreadable format of the data. So example, in the last class I told SVC is changed to some other format. So wherever S comes, I will replace with H, V comes C, then for C I will represent F, and for E, G. Okay, so now this data is encrypted. Okay, whenever it is received at the receiver side, it requires to use the decryption algorithm and get back the plain text. So this is ciphertext. When you decrypt, you will be getting the plain text. Okay, so this operation is taken care by the presentation layer. Then compression. What do you mean by compression? What you understood of the meaning of compression?
Combining data into a single unit.
Combining into a single unit. Okay. What happens if I do the compression of data? What happens if I do data compression? What happens?
The storage with the size of the data will be reduced.
Very good.
Reduction in size.
Okay, reduces the number of bits. Okay, here I am talking about network. So it reduces the size. Indirectly, it reduces number of bits. Okay, so the size of the data is going to be reduced when you compress the data. Okay, for that also there are so many algorithms. I am not going to discuss about those algorithms as of now. Okay. One example I can give for compression is Huffman coding. Okay, you just explore what is Huffman coding and how it works. That is a common example or the common protocol used for data compression. Okay, so as of now, whatever we have discussed is only the layers of OSI model. Okay, so in what is the difference I told between the OSI model and TCP/IP model? What is the difference I told? What is the major difference between TCP/IP model and OSI model?
Link or a physical link or a connection between data to transfer the data of with the sender and destination.
I am asking with respect to number of layers.
In
Three
TCP,
layers are combined.
around 3 layers are combined into one layer.
Okay, how many layers were there in TCP/IP?
4.
Total
5.
4. Yes. So answer is TCP/IP protocol suite. It is having 5 layers. These are the basic things you need to remember. OSI model 7 layers. Okay, so now which layer, I mean which method or which model they are using in the current network, whatever we are using in real time? Which method they are using out of these two?
TCP.
Is it
TCP.
TCP/IP model? Okay, so which are the layers that are combined in TCP/IP model compared to OSI model? Which can you name the layers in TCP/IP model?
Application, session, and presentation.
What about others? Will you agree with the answer?
Yes, from application, presentation, and session.
One is application. What is the second one? This is actually the top layer. Yes, go slowly. Second one?
Presentation.
Presentation.
No. Okay, come from the
Data
bottom.
link.
Okay, come from the bottom. What is the first bottom layer?
Presentation.
Bottom layer 1.
Physical.
Physical layer. Okay. Bottom layer is physical layer. Then what about next layer?
Data link.
Data link. Yeah.
Very good. Then
Network.
Network layer.
Network.
network layer. Then
Transport.
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 if somebody was telling presentation. Okay. So presentation layer is correct, but that is not TCP/IP model. This is TCP/IP model what we are using currently in the network. Okay. So what they have done? What about the two layers? Those two layers, that is presentation and session layer, were combined to make a single layer of application layer. Okay. So you can just go back to OSI model. Can you see your OSI model? Okay, these two layers are combined, I mean 3 layers are represented as a single layer. Okay. Okay. So now just one more recall. So how the data is represented at physical layer? Is it clear, everyone? Everyone, is it clear? What are the layers in TCP/IP model and also OSI model? Let me write here. Just important point, note down. Okay. Then next one is a presentation layer. Then session layer. Then remaining goal, that is transport layer. See, the order is very important. The order of the layers is very important when you are telling. In case if you want, you can keep any shortcuts to remember the layers in the order. I think I told some shortcut to remember the order. Data link layer, then followed by physical layer. So now one more back of how data is represented at each. So let me start with the physical layer. So how the data is represented? This is respond fast.
Analog or digital?
Okay, that is in transmission media. When it is moving from source from the physical layer to the transmission media, during that time, so the bits are converted into signals, either analog or digital signal. So the data represented at physical layer is bits. Then at data link layer, yes, yes. What is the answer?
Packets.
I have written if I have given clue.
Frames.
Okay. Yes, very good. So the data represented at data link layer is frames. Then at network layer, packets. Okay. At transport layer, yes. How we
Segments.
represented data at the transport layer? Yesterday itself we have discussed. Whatever the data that is coming from application layer, so how it is represented at?
Segment.
Very good. Okay. So it is represented in the form of segments. Okay. And remaining 3 layers, it is just represented as a data. Okay. No specific conversion done at this layer. It is just a data. Okay. This is, see, the layers and the representation data in each layer. So just try to remember these, and also responsibility of each layer. important responsibility of each layer. So you need to remember. Okay. So in the textbook they have given TCP/IP model. So just go through each layer and try to understand how it works and what are the responsibility. Okay, you can just observe this is a summarizing the important points or the main responsibility of the layer. So physical layer to transmit bits over a media, okay, and to provide mechanical or electrical signal specifications. Then data link layer, it is hop to hop delivery and the representation of data is in the form of frames. Network layer, so the representation of data is in terms of packet and it is responsible for source to destination delivery of data, and also it provides internetworking. Then transport layer, it is process to process delivery of data, okay, and also it is responsible for error recovery and also flow control. There are so many important responsibility assigned at the transport layer. Then to establish, manage and terminate the session, okay, so it is going to create the session. So now how, what is the window it is created for our class, okay, this is one session where we can exchange the information. So the establishment of this session is taken care by the session layer, okay, it is going to establish, manage the session, and also at the end we are going to terminate the session. So all this operation it is taken care by the session layer. And presentation layer for translating, so the representation of data, okay, so my browser is, I'm using different representation, okay, the destination device browser may be, okay, here I'm using Chrome, there the data is received using Firefox browser, but still will be able to get the same data without any disturbances. So all the translation it is taken care by the presentation layer, okay, so that is also called interoperability. It is not expecting if I am sending the mail using Chrome browser, it has to be delivered to Chrome browser only. So even if it is using any other software, still you will be able to receive the data. Compression and encryption of data taken care by the presentation layer. And application layer, it is going to allow access to the network resources, okay, so this is one part. So next, that finishes all the layers, okay, so that finishes all the layers. So now I want one more information or the clarity people need to have is, so that is what is the type of addressing used at each layer, okay, so mainly this layer and also this layer and also this layer, what type of addressing mechanism we are using. Yesterday I told. Somebody is unmuted, mute yourself. Okay, so what type of addressing is used at the data link layer? It is physical addressing, okay. So how this physical address is represented? So yesterday I was explaining about the physical address. Do you remember? How we'll come to know this addressing? Okay, let me give the clue. I was explaining about NIC. What is this NIC? Yes, recall. Yesterday itself I explained about NIC. Without
Network
this,
interface card.
yes, very good. It is network interface card. So without this card, you will be unable to connect. Okay, you cannot connect to the network. So from this, you are going to get the physical address. So there is one 48-bit number is printed on this network interface card. So that address is called as physical addressing. Okay, so even if you want to check, so all the devices that is having NIC, okay, so it will be having a number of size 48 bits, okay, that is called as a physical addressing. Okay, maybe in the next class I will talk more about this physical address, okay. And network layer, What type of addressing? It is logical address. Okay, logical address is used at the network layer. Okay, so it is nothing but IP address. So each device is assigned with the IP address. So when so many devices are connected in the network, how each device are identified? So with a unique number called IP address. Okay, so this IP address mechanism, we call it as logical addressing. So we'll discuss this also later in detail, the representation of this. Then a transport layer, at least somebody can answer this. What type of addressing is used by the transport layer? Yes?
TCP or UDP?
No, addressing. Those are all protocols. I'm
Port
discussing.
addressing.
Okay. Port addressing. Is it Gaurav who told the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very good. So port address is used. Port addressing is used at the transport layer. Is it clear? See, there are so many terms you need to remember. So first understand the models. Okay, what is the difference between these two models in terms of layers? So how data is represented, how addressing is taken care at each layer, and also some protocols at each layer. I think in the slides I was presenting, you can just observe. Okay, here I have not mentioned the data link layer protocols. Okay, data link layer protocol, it is having so many protocols to take care of error control, error detection and error control, and also flow control. Okay, actually the main flow control is taken care by the transport layer. The main responsibility of data link layer is error detection and error control. Okay, or error correction, so that also is considered, and also accessing the media. When multiple devices are trying to access the channel, to which device it should allow to access the channel. Okay, so that is also decided by the data link layer. Like that, you just remember 2 to 3 responsibility of each layer. Okay, so definitely there will be one question on this, 8 to 10 marks, to explain the TCP/IP model with neat diagram, specify the responsibility of each layer. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt whatever we have discussed as of now? The thing is
Ma'am,
you need, yes, tell.
ma'am, you spoke about interoperability, right? But what is
Yes,
the exact procedure that different paths are able to communicate with each other?
like the whatever the configuration. Okay, there will be universal setting the configuration. The same thing it is followed when they were manufacturing. Only the devices are manufactured from the different devices, but the configuration setting, it will be common for all the devices. Okay, those are all standard, so that is defined by a particular standard method. Okay, some organization they will define the configuration, and the same thing it is followed by the manufacturing company.
Okay, got it.
Okay, anybody else having any doubt? Okay, so in the last class Tina was asking about the to justify about the ring topology. Yes, no, how it requires n number of links. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if there are, how many devices are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are 6 devices. So when there are 6 devices, I told it requires 6 cables. Okay, so that answer I told in the maybe I think 3 to 4 class last week. When there are 6 devices, I told it requires 6 cables to connect it. So now before going to that, I want to add some more information about this ring topology. Okay, so let me, so you can just observe each device is connected with a repeater. So what is the function of repeater and how the data flow here? The screen is visible, no? Okay, so here whenever this device want to send the data, okay, this is A, B, C, D, and this is E, and this is F. Okay, if it want to send the data to E, always it is ring topology will follow the unidirectional data transmission. Okay, if this is the direction of data transmission, it has to go through this. That is one thing. And each device you can just observe the devices are connected with the repeater. So what is the function of this repeater here? So repeater is going to regenerate the signal, because when it is moving from this device to going along with the so many devices in the network. Okay, if there are 100 devices, then if it has to go with all the 100 devices, that distance it has to travel. So when it is traveling for long distance, okay, when it is moving through the transmission media, there may be noise added in between. Okay, so due to that, what happens, the signal is going to be weaker. So to avoid that, when the data comes to this node to this node, so this repeater is going to regenerate. That means it will strengthen the signals. Okay, when the signals goes through this, it will just strengthen the signals. Okay, that is the purpose of using repeater. Okay, that is one point you need to remember here. That is why they have connected repeater in the ring topology. Okay, and so how data is sent is, I told it is unidirectional. If it is in this direction, always the data is transferring in this direction only. It cannot send, even if A want to send data to F, it has to go in this direction only. Okay, so now tell me, so if A want to send the data to node F, how many links it is required? Check it. I told, don't think that direct, see, it cannot send direct data directly here. Okay, it has to go through this. Okay,
5.
so,
5.
so it requires 5. So that means n minus 1. No, actually it is n. Actually it should be n. How come I stopped at n minus 1?
Ma'am, if I'm not wrong, initially you told it
Yes.
is n minus 1, then later we thought it is n. So we got confused
Okay,
that
is
it is
it
n
that
minus 1
you
or
told
n.
n? What was your answer?
No, ma'am, I think someone had told n minus 1. You told yes, it is correct. Then someone told n, I don't know. So we got confused which is correct.
Okay.
I
So
think
now
Ashish
according,
told.
Yes, ma'am.
no,
Initially you said n minus 1.
then, but still no, we have stuck at n minus 1 only. Yes, no. So now if it requires to send data to this node, so it is taking how many cables? 1, 2, 3. This is 6. Okay. So this is to, maybe I think we need to consider this also. So because this is closed connection, closed loop. Okay. If I stop the network connection here, so it is actually 5. Okay. When I tell ring topology, so it should be closed. So considering this, it becomes n. Okay, and one more important point here, so how exactly the devices will come to know that the data sent, is it for B, C or D or to F? Okay, for that it is going to pass a token. Okay, so it will pass a token. With the help of the token, it is going to reach the destination. So what is token passing here? A token contains piece of information which is sent along with the data by source computer. Okay, so token means everybody knows it will be having some number assigned. So along with the data, it will send the token. So in easier terms, token is like a permission packet which allows a particular node the permission to release the information over the network. Okay, so whichever the device that is going to accept this token, okay, so that device is the destination and it will release the data to that particular node in the network. Okay, so how it is done, how it will identify, so that part we'll discuss later. Okay, and here the how the token is going to pass, it is regularly passed from one node to the another, and if node has some information to pass on the network, the node release the information. If the node does not have any data to release on the network, then it transfer the token to the next node. Okay, till it reaches the specified destination, the token will be passed. Okay, so whichever the device that accepts the token, so to that device the data will be delivered. And one more important point, or you will be learning dual ring topology. Okay, so dual ring topology indicates, the name itself tells dual ring. That means there will be two rings. Okay, this is already it is there. I'm just adding one more ring here. So why this dual ring concept comes? Okay, so whenever if this particular link fails, okay, so if A want to send data to F, it is not possible to send the data. Okay, a network failures has happened at this link. So immediately to resolve this problem, so there is a dual ring. So immediately this particular link is going to start sending the data that is received from this node to the, you can just say automatically it will switch to the second ring, and that second ring is going to send the data further. Okay, so this is only when the link failure occurs, immediately the second ring is going to take the action of sending the data to the destination. Okay, so this is indicating the robustness. So whenever if there is a failure, immediately it can be recovered using dual ring. Okay, so these are the, I think we have discussed all this part.
So ma'am, we should take n or n-1?
Yeah, no, I need to once again clarify. So because ring means I cannot stop the network here itself. Yes, no? Is it if I stop the ring here, it is not going to be the ring concept itself. It is just like open loop.
Yes, ma'am.
So when I tell it is ring, it should be the closed loop. So when I consider closed loop, obviously the number of cables required is
N.
6, that is n. Okay.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
cannot stop the network here itself. So it has to be connected to this. So because of that,
Yes.
so here number of nodes, a number of cables required is n. When there are n nodes, number of cables required is it is n. Okay. Will you
Okay,
accept?
ma'am.
Will you accept?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is about the ring topology. Anything else? So now we just to go through the whatever we have discussed in the first chapter and second chapter, mainly the second chapter. So in the next class we'll have one small quiz. Okay, and we'll move on to the third chapter. I think I need to give some more information about the logical addressing. Okay, once it is done, I will go to the next layer. And also there is concept of encapsulation and decapsulation. So I will explain all this in the next class. Encapsulation, decapsulation, and also addressing.